Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Pain to Power. I'm your host, Jill Ripley, and today I want to talk to you about something that's at the very heart of our well being. Something we all have, but that most of us don't fully understand or take the time to nurture. And that is our three core types of energy. We have mind energy, body energy, and spirit energy. Each one is unique. Each one plays a vital role in how we experience life. And when we learn how to nourish all three, we create a powerful balance that can carry us through even the hardest seasons of our lives. Let's start with one very simple, scientifically proven fact. Everything is made up of energy. Everything in the physical world and everything in your experience is made up of energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your physical vitality, the way you connect with others, it's all a form of energy. The energies that relate to us on a personal level are the three energy centers: mind, body, and spirit. They're like rechargeable batteries. The supply is limitless, but only if we remember to plug into the source that fuels them. Just like a phone battery drains when you use it all day without charging, our energy gets depleted when we give and give without pausing to recharge. And just like with money, where you invest that energy determines what grows in your life. Spend it recklessly or ignore certain areas, and you'll end up in a kind of energetic debt. When one of these three energy sources, mind, body, or spirit, is depleted, it affects the others. You might physically be exhausted and find it hard to think clearly. Or you might feel spiritually drained and you notice your body feels heavy and sluggish. Everything is connected. That's why I want to take you through each one so you can learn to recognize what it feels like when it's running low and how to intentionally recharge it. Let's start with mind energy. This is your mental focus, your clarity, your creativity, your ability to process information and make decisions. It's also your inner voice, the thoughts you think about yourself, your circumstances, and the world around you. When your mind energy is healthy and nourished, you feel clear headed. Ideas flow. You can solve problems without spiraling into anxiety. You can focus on the present moment without constantly replaying the past or fearing the future. Here are some examples of things that drain your mental energy: overthinking every little thing, constant stimulation, scrolling through social media, watching endless news updates, negative self talk, trying to juggle too many things without rest, unresolved mental clutter from past trauma or unfinished tasks, complaining or always finding fault with your surroundings, and judging others. And here's the thing: a tired mind doesn't always look like exhaustion. Sometimes it shows up as irritability, procrastination, or feeling off, but not knowing exactly why. So, how do we recharge mind energy? In my humble opinion, one of the most important ways to recharge our mind energy is being mindful and meditation. Even 5 minutes of breathing and quiet can shift your state. Learning something new. Your brain loves novelty. Read a book, take a class, or try a new skill. We live in such an amazing time because there are endless educational resources available to us now at just the click of a few buttons. The internet is filled with boundless sources of information about absolutely everything you want to know about. Part of why we exist in the physical form is to contribute to the expansion of the universe. We were never meant to sit idly by like a passenger in the journey of life. We're here to explore, to learn, and to grow. I don't know who said it, but personally, I love the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. Limiting information overload. You do not have to consume every headline, every social media post, every email. If there's something you don't agree with, you don't have to feed into it. You can let it go and move on to something that feeds your soul. You can also take time to respond to people who are vying for your attention. Leave a little space between your text or email and your response. Chances are, if you give it a little time and space, your response will be more well thought out and less reactive. I personally need to work on this one. Positive self talk. This one's huge. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. Would you talk to a friend the way you speak to yourself? If not, it's time to shift that dialogue. You need to remember your subconscious mind is always listening, and what you say matters. Make sure to give yourself positive feedback when you've done something worthwhile or productive. I've gotten into the habit of giving myself a little pat on the shoulder and saying, "Good job, Jill," when I've accomplished something, especially if it's something that's not my favorite thing to do or something that's outside of my comfort zone. It goes a long way in bolstering your self esteem. Give yourself space. I've learned that when I am feeling mentally burnt out, I will make myself step away. I give my mind a rest, allow myself to take a break, and I find that the answers will then come without a struggle. Sometimes clarity isn't about thinking harder, it's about thinking less and allowing space. Now, for our body energy, let's talk about it. This is your physical vitality, your strength, stamina, and the way your body feels as you move through the day. It's also tied to how well you sleep, how you fuel yourself, and how you listen to your body's needs. When your body energy is strong, you feel capable. You can do the tasks of the day without constant fatigue. You feel light and alive in your own skin. You recover faster from illness or exertion. So, what are some of the things that drain the body's energy? Well, first of all, is skipping sleep or sleeping poorly. Sleep is vital for the body's ability to regenerate and utilize energy efficiently. Eating foods that deplete instead of nourish, like foods that are highly processed, full of sugar and additives, excess caffeine, alcohol, smoking, or any other substance that's harmful to the body will also deplete our body energy. Our bodies thrive on foods that are as close to their natural state as possible. Fruits, nuts, vegetables, legumes are your body's friend. Also, if you're not a vegetarian, grass fed, humanely raised meats and poultries are great sources of protein. And make sure to hydrate. This simple but truly important aspect is often overlooked. Moving too little or over exercising without recovery. Our bodies are designed to move. Sitting still all day without getting up causes muscles to atrophy. Make sure to incorporate movement into your day. I personally walk outdoors just about every day. I strength train, do yoga, and other forms of exercise multiple times a week. And I stretch every morning before I even get out of bed. I feel these practices keep me mobile and strong. Chronic stress, which keeps your body in a constant fight or flight mode, is another drain on the body energy. Find healthy ways to unwind. Walk in nature, dance, even if it's by yourself. Play a game, meditate, call a friend. Anything that settles the mind and body. I would steer clear of drama shows, horror movies, and the news if you're trying to chill out. Ignoring your body's signals when it's asking for rest causes pain, tension, and fatigue. These are messages from your body. Don't ignore them. Listen to your body and ask it what it needs. You'll be guided to what will serve you best. How do we nourish the body energy? Personally, there was a season in my life when I wasn't being truly honest with myself. I told myself that because I worked out regularly and ate pretty good most of the time, that I was doing all right. But the truth is, I was drinking too much and eating like garbage more often than I would allow myself to admit. Routinely eating out and living on a lot of convenience food from the grocery store left me unhealthy and severely overweight. When I finally quit drinking, I lost 60 pounds. I then got serious with my nutrition and my spirituality, and life seemed to energetically open up for me. I worked through a myriad of health issues and was able to get my head on straight. I remember forcing myself through daily routines without realizing how drained I was. When I finally slowed down and started taking care of myself, nourishing myself with better foods and prioritizing my rest, my energy began to shift. My spirit lifted because my body was no longer in a constant state of depletion. And finally, let's talk about spirit energy, the one we often neglect the most. Spirit energy is your sense of purpose, your connection to something bigger than yourself, your inner peace. It's the spark that makes life feel meaningful. When spirit energy is strong, you feel aligned. Life feels purposeful, even when it's hard. You have an inner anchor that keeps you steady in storms. Things that drain the spirit energy are living out of alignment with your values, neglecting joy and creative expression, over busyness that leaves no time for reflection, disconnection from nature, community, or whatever you consider sacred. How do we nourish spirit energy? Find a connection to something greater than yourself. For some, that's a prayer or meditation. For others, it's time in nature or quiet contemplation, creative expression, art, music, writing, gardening, anything that lights you up. Acts of service. Helping others fills a part of the soul nothing else can. And gratitude practices. Focusing on what's good shifts your entire perspective. Presence. Learning to simply be instead of constantly having to do. There have been moments in my life, especially after deep loss, when my spirit energy felt completely gone. It wasn't until I started intentionally connecting to something greater, leaning into gratitude, and finding ways to express my heart that I began to feel alive again. Spirit energy doesn't just come back on its own. We have to invite it in. Now let's tie this all together. Mind, body, and spirit energy are deeply interconnected. When your body is exhausted, your mind becomes foggy and your spirit feels low. When your spirit feels disconnected, your body can feel heavy and your mind lacks motivation. And when your mind is overrun with negative thoughts, your body tenses up and your spirit dims. That's why I recommend what I call a daily energy check in. It's simple. At the start or end of each day, ask yourself, how's my mind energy today? How's my body energy today? How's my spirit energy today? If one feels low, choose one small action to feed it. It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe you take a short walk to boost body energy, or you spend 5 minutes journaling to clear your mind, or you pause to watch a sunset and feed your spirit. Small, intentional actions add up over time. And if you find yourself feeling off in the middle of the day, you can always repeat the energy check in and give yourself a little tune up. It doesn't have to take long, and the effects can be life changing. So, here are the key takeaways. Mind energy thrives on clarity, learning, and healthy thought patterns. Body energy thrives on movement, nourishment, and rest. Spirit energy thrives on connection, meaning, and joy. They're not separate. They're in partners, helping you live your fullest, most aligned life. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to start noticing and start nourishing. I want to encourage you to pick one small thing today that you can do for each type of energy. It might feel small now, but over time, these tiny moments of care can become the foundation for a more powerful, more resilient you. If today's episode spoke to your heart, I'd love it if you could help me to grow this community of beautiful souls turning pain into power. Please hit that like button so YouTube knows that this content is worth sharing, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you know someone who could use this message today, share it with them. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Every like, subscribe, and share helps this message to reach more people who are ready to heal, grow, and step into their power.